Welcome to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for taking your time to be part of us. President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has done his two-term limit of 10 years as is entrenched in the Constitution. During this period when the head of state was in power, he made quite a number of friends and he also acquired some enemies. In his second term from 2013 to 2017, one of the worst nemesis for the president is his deputy, William Samoei Ruto. William ran away with some of the very best friends of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Now, as the president is preparing to go and he's doing his final touches, he went back to his diary to try and look for some of his friends. And one of them is none other than J.B. Muturi, the current Speaker of the National Assembly. And when the president was trying to evaluate some of his friends, he bumped into J.B. Muturi and he sent an emissary with a package of a message to J.B. Muturi. In his characteristic style, President Uhuru Kenyatta sent his best friend, Murathe, to deliver a message to J.B. Muturi. According to Murathe, Muturi, who is the Speaker of the National Assembly, backstabbed the president because Murathe is saying that in 2007, J.B. Muturi contested for a seat as a member of parliament, I think in Chicago, and he lost to Lenny Kivuti. The president picked him up and gave him a job. In 2013, again, J.B. Muturi tried his hands in politics and he ran for a seat, member of parliament, a parliamentary seat in Mbeere North constituency. Again, he was humiliated. The president did not forget his friend. He picked up J.B. Muturi and made him the third most powerful person in this country, the head of parliament. He became the speaker courtesy of the president, Uhuru Kenyatta. According to Murathe, Mr. Muturi has forgotten and has betrayed his friend. This message was not only packaged to Muturi. In fact, it was a two-tier message because on the same breath, Mr. Murathe revealed to the country that Rigathi Gachagua, who is the running mate to deputy president in the Kenya Kwanza, has never been a PA to Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta. We have seen on many occasions when he's campaigning, even recently when they were on running mate debate, Mr. Rigathi reiterated that he worked for Uhuru Kenyatta as a permanent secretary. And he insinuated that the president has reciprocated by political witch hunt, that now the president is now freezing his accounts on allegations that he is corrupt. It seems the president did not want to leave any stone unturned. And so the president decided to demystify what he thinks is misinformation to the country. And so Murathe explained that when Uhuru Kenyatta went into the local government as a minister, he met civil servants who are working there.
Rigathi has never been Uhuru's PA, and people should debunk this theory. Rigathi was a special DO of Moi. When Uhuru went to local government, he found Rigathi there. All right? He was a civil servant attached to that ministry where Uhuru becomes the minister. So you walk in and you find the establishment. Rigathi just happened to be part of that. When Uhuru became president, he never moved with Rigathi as his PA. You know that. He went in with the people like Muturi. All right? So that thing about it is officialdom, you know, career civil servants. If you go into a ministry and you find a PS, it's the job designation, correct? How now you relate or whatever is another matter altogether. But when you select your own personal assistant, Uhuru never selected Rigathi. He selected Muturi, correct? JB Muturi, my friend, who I worked with for 10 years at the Uhuru Kenyatta Center. You know, we had a UK center where I was a director. JB was in charge of legal and constitutional affairs and parliamentary affairs. The motions, the bills for parliament were being done by JB. If there is somebody who has really stabbed Uhuru in the back, is JB. JB lost in the election of 2007, okay, to Lenny Kivuti. Uhuru brought him to the UK Centre. I worked in the centre at Red Cross House with JB, all right? In 2012, JB ran again in Chicago. He lost to Jagagwa, all right? And Uhuru won the presidency, okay? Remember when Uhuru lost in 2002, JB Muturi was his chief whip. So these are people who have a history of coming together.
And I kept on wondering, because this messaging and his timing is very critical to me, politically speaking. The president has waited for long to reveal to the nation that actually JB Muturi was, do I say mtu wake wa mkono, or that he helped Muturi after Muturi was annihilated politically in 2007 and 2013. This is happening only a few days to elections. I think we only have now less than 3 weeks. So that timing is very important. It is also happening when the president is planning on a tour to the Mount Kenya region where JB comes from. And I want us to look at this messaging and try to delve into it and explain why the president chose his timing and what he wanted to convey. Because this is a raw message, but it is also coded. Before we do this, ladies and gentlemen, I want to kindly request you, if you are watching our channel for the very first time, or you have been watching our channel but you have not subscribed, I want to request you to take a moment and subscribe to our channel. That is the kind of support that you can give to this channel. Kindly let us grow together. To all our subscribers and those who have helped this channel in one way or the other, because this channel receives a lot of support in different ways, thank you very much. I can't take it for granted. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with Gachagua, because I will not take long. For Gachagua, it was very easy. The president wanted to show that Rigathi Gachagua is a serial liar, because many a times the president has made it clear that William Ruto, who is heading the Kenya Kwanza, is a man full of lies. And so I think he wants to combine them just to show the nation that this guy has never been my permanent secretary, but he goes around telling people that he was my permanent secretary. So the president wanted to demystify that notion, because if you listened to Rigathi Gachagua, if you listened to Murathe emphasized that Kenyans should debunk this notion, and it should now be made clear, and people should know that Rigathi has never been a permanent secretary to the president. I don't want to delve so much in the issue of Rigathi Gachagua, because I know he will speak for himself and he will explain. Rigathi will not keep quiet. He will prove whether he was once a permanent secretary uh, in the office of Ministry of Local Government, and whether he was a permanent secretary, a PA to the President of Kenya. But to JB Muturi, I want to believe, in my very considered opinion, that the president wanted to express his displeasure and his disappointment towards his friend. Because if someone helps you on two occasions when you contest and you're defeated, but he still remains your friend, picks you from where you are and gives you a job, we will all agree that actually this was a privilege. He lost in 2013. The president took him up. He lost in 2013, and the president made him the speaker. The president, and if you listen to that message, I think the president is simply telling Muturi that I would not mind if Rigathi Gachagua is betraying me, because we never worked together, we were never friends. But for you, Muturi, a person I thought was my friend, I'm actually disappointed. And this is a message that, because if you listened to the tone, Murathe was actually saying that JB Muturi stabbed the president in the back. This is the time when the president needs his friends. He is facing an opposition from his deputy, and he has manifested his love for Raila Odinga, and he has requested his people to vote for Raila. So the president felt that this is the time when his friends should now reciprocate. Those who he held their hands in 2013, people like JB Muturi, should now come and rally behind Mr. President. This is what he thinks. And this is the reason why he's telling Muturi, I'm actually disappointed in you. The president is also reminding JB Muturi to look back in retrospect and understand where they have come from. He's in a way telling Mr. Muturi to imagine what would have happened if he didn't hold his hands. He's reminding JB Muturi to look back and feel the pain. Because I just want to believe that when a person has lost an election, it is not very easy. You've used a lot of money, you've spent your time, you have invested emotionally. You know, these elections, sometimes they are very expensive, so much that people even sell their assets, their personal belongings. And so the president is telling Mr. Muturi to try and imagine where he was then and try to equate it to where the president is. Because when JB needed the president came to his aid. And the president is now like telling JB, the same situation you were in then, I am in the same situation. I need my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, I also think that the president is trying to extend an olive branch to the Speaker of the National Assembly. In a way, I want to believe that the president is telling the Speaker that all is not lost. We have not yet reached election day. You can change your mind. We can work together. I think he's a kind of beckoning his friend and is telling him, let us work together. Come and help me now. I need your support. The truth is, JV Muturi has no large following because he's not vying for any seat. I have never heard him being promised anything in Kenya Kwanza. I think he is just there to give moral support to William Samoei Ruto and to give that perception that the Embu, the Ameru and all that are with William Ruto. And I think this is what the president wants, because even if JB Muturi crosses today to Azimio, he will not add much value except for perception. And I think the president specifically picked JB Muturi because he's thinking of where they have come from. So it is a time that the president is reminding JB, please come home. I can still welcome you. If anything, President still has a stake in Kenya Kwanza. He's the chairman, in Azimio. He's the chairman of the Azimio Council. The other day when Martha Karua was asked whether he will still play an active role in the next government, Martha Karua was very categorical. She said that as long as Jubilee, that the president heads, is an active party in Azimio, and as long as they give the president a mandate to play his part as a party leader, as a Jubilee party leader, then he will still be there. So the president could be calling Mr. Muturi so that they can share the cake in the next government. To him, all is not lost. To him, he still wants his friends. I see a character in the president, a character that does not forget, a character that does not forget his friends. So I think it is an olive branch. He's really giving such a warm welcome to his friend, and he wants JB Muturi to come home so that they can work together, they can share the cake in the next government. I also want to believe that the president is sending a message to the other group that perhaps abandoned him at a time when he needed them the most. This clique is composed of people like Anne Waiguru. You remember people like Anne Waiguru were friends with the president. They worked together. The president has helped Anne Waiguru in many occasions. In fact, in 2017, many believe that Martha Karua defeated Anne Waiguru, and this case went to court. But I think it is with the patronage and the help of Uhuru Kenyatta, Anne Waiguru sailed through and remained a governor. If you look at how Anne Waiguru has fared in her administration for the past 5 years, it was full of accusations. And sometimes I remember Anne Waiguru was almost, in fact, I remember at some points the county assembly impeached Anne Waiguru. And when it went to the Senate, the handshake brothers, Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, came to her help. So, and Anne Waiguru has gone to be with William Samoei Ruto. They were citing this notion that Central had changed and that William Samoei Ruto had taken Central by storm. So there are very many others. People like Mwangi Kiunjuri abandoned the president. In fact, this is the reason why Mwangi Kiunjuri was relieved of his duties as the cabinet secretary for agriculture. So there are very many of them. And I think the president is only using JB Muturi as an example. So he packaged this message to the other friends. So in a way, it's like the president is looking at the future and he sympathizes with some of these friends, or he needs them in his camp. So he's telling them, come, let us work together. Come, let us share this cake in the next government. I need you now. I want to believe, ladies and gentlemen, that the president is planning to tour Mount Kenya region. And this might be the last time that the president is going to tour this region to campaign for Raila Odinga after giving Raila Odinga a running mate by the name Martha Karua. And the president has seen the reception that they receive in Mount Kenya. The president has seen the opinion polls, how Raila Odinga and Martha Karua ticket has really improved in terms of opinion polls. From when Raila started, it was like 2%, 5%, to now over 30%. The president has launched very many development programs that were accomplished in that area. So the only thing that is standing before him now and in that region are some of the friends. And he really wants some of these friends, people like Muturi, to help him share this message that we are now taking it, that uongozi unaenda kwa Azimio. Kwa hivyo nataka tushirikiane pamoja, tufanye kazi pamoja. So this too is very important, and it informed the messaging. He sent Murathe so that Murathe should prepare the ground to central Kenya, so that when he climbs the mountain this time round, so the president packaged this message so that the people of Mount Kenya should know that it is a lie. They never, he never employed Rigathi Gachagua as his personal assistant, and therefore, as it was Mount Kenya, they are going to view Rigathi Gachagua as a liar. As it was Mount Kenya, they are going to see Muturi as someone who betrayed the president, because the truth is the president has gained some of the lost friends. So he wants to also seek some sort of political sympathy, because people are going to look at him and say, hey, so this guy alishindwa mara mbili na kiongozi wetu ndio alimshika mkono na sasa anamwepa anamwasi wakati ambao kiongozi anamhitaji zaidi. So people are going to look at JB Muturi, and in a way even the others, like I mentioned, people like Mwangi Kiunjuri, people like Anne Waiguru, when the president will tour that area, people will start looking at them as people who have been helped by the president and now they do not want to reciprocate. And I want to believe that the president is only trying to stamp his authority. In a way, he's telling JB Muturi, nilikusaidia na umenikataa. And maybe he's telling him, wakati inakuja, because I'm going nowhere. You see, when Azimio government will be formed, because it is clear that Azimio is going to form the next government. So the president is like telling them, Azimio is going to form this government and I'm still going to be part of it. And JB, when William Ruto loses, you're not vying for any position, you will go nowhere and you will need me. And it is like he's telling them, all those who I helped, and now you have abandoned me, you will look for me. And maybe he's telling them, I will also deal with you the same way you dealt with me. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, it is like the president just took this time to kind of thank those who stood by his side for the period, for the the last 5 years. There are those who stood by his side. When others were running away, there are people stuck by his side. It's like he was telling them, thank you for being by my side, nikipigana na hii vita, and let us vote in Raila Odinga. And ladies and gentlemen, it is on the same breath that I'm saying thank you very much for watching my videos.